It's not about space, it's about place. We're going to unpack tiny homes. Stay tuned.
Good morning.
Good morning, Billy, the old man in a young man's body.
And Mark Novak, the tiny home expo expert.
Yep. Went there yesterday. I thought it was at Homebush, the tiny home expo. I told Lisa, why don't we go? And she said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Got in the car and realised it was a long way away.
A lot further than you thought.
It was like 20 minutes past Kellyville. Huge.
But it's once you got in the car, you've made the decision, you're committed to going, and that's good.
And you know what? It's just great to go somewhere different. It's just great to get out there and to see different parts of Sydney. It was pretty rural out there, and yeah, it's just good to get out there somewhere different in Sydney. I do encourage on a Sunday, guys, pack the wife, pack the kids, and do something completely different. Get out of your zone, be it Northern Beaches, be it inner west, be it eastern suburbs, and just go somewhere completely different. Try.
It's a good way to wrap up the week. It makes a break, and then you're into the next week.
You know what? I always love the ethos. Doesn't matter in 5 years. When you look back in 5 years, are you going to treat that? Is that Sunday going to look like every other bloody Sunday, or are you going to remember that Sunday? We won't forget that trip. It was different. It was cool. Tiny homes.
Tiny homes. But to be clear, Mark, you're not in the market for a tiny home, or are you?
No, I actually get inspired by doing cool stuff in small spaces, because I think there's really good efficiency in it, even with any homes. So going out, and just to explain to people what a tiny home is, not that it needs much of an explanation, but these are homes that are on trailers. So they've generally got 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 6 wheels. They make them as big as 8.4 metre long structures and as wide as 2.4 metres wide, so they're trailerable. They are generally sit on about the 4.5 tonne mark, because legally you can't go over that. And then what happens is people relocate them. So they're not something you're going to take away for a holiday around Australia, but they're something that you're going to relocate to a farm, to the side of your house, maybe like even a substitute to a granny flat. But they are a registered trailer, so they do not require, in most councils, they do not require a council approval to sit on your land.
It's clever. I think the nicest thing about them is that they're not these tiny homes because everything's been, miniaturized. Not everything's shrunk down. There's still normal sized furniture, but it's just such a clever use of space. And that's what, whether you're in the market for one or not, you can appreciate when you're walking through these cool setups. There's often multiple features for every piece of furniture in there.
Yeah. So, even the efficiencies in bathrooms, the doubling up for different stuff. The lounge obviously is storage. Under the bed is storage. They got kitchens, they got bathrooms, they got super high ceilings, and often they loft a bedroom above in that ceiling. Pretty cool idea.
It's interesting. When you think about property then, traditionally you're always paying more per square metre. The bigger you get, the more you pay. But do you think we'll ever see a world where efficiency, comes into it? As in, is there ever going to be a 1-bedroom apartment that in theory costs more than a 2-bedroom just because they use the space a lot better? Not on finishes, just on space.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that look, if you haven't realised, we're probably doing that already. Whereas the Australian dream used to be a quarter acre block with a 3-bedroom house, and it tends that apartment living is only really a new trend that's happened over the last 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, for hundreds and thousands of years, we've been sitting on one-level homes with 3 bedrooms. So there's definitely people are sweating the land, the asset more. They're sweating the land more. They're getting the land to work harder for them. They're going super vertical. So yeah, I think so. And I think that big outdoor park, people would rather share a park because they realise they're not in that park all the time and have better quality internal space. So the areas they're using all the time, they're hyping, and then the areas they're not using as much, they're sharing.
Yeah, and to be able to share those spaces, share the costs, ultimately have a better space because there's more interest collected together. I think that's nice. People appreciate having the upmarket choice.
Yeah, big time. Now, when I was out there, I saw something I really, really liked. Have a look at King Dome. KINGDOME.
That's going to come into the next Novak office. You're going to have a really cool.
This was the biggest. It's almost like a TP, but obviously a circular dome shape. And this thing had a fireplace, had a kitchen, had a bathroom, had a massive wall of windows. 30 grand. Now the application was pretty interesting of what, when I remember this morning I was talking with you about it, you're going, what the hell would you use it for? Sounds good, but what the hell would you use it for?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you'd want to know who their customers are. Who's in the market for a huge dome? Because this wasn't small. You've got a couple of photos of it. It's a thing that if you put in your back garden, you'd be like, what on earth is that? Is that a crazy science lab?
It does look like that. These tiny homes that people are buying across Australia, the good guys are booked out 18 months, 24 months in advance. You can't buy them. That's how popular they are. So there's these Kingdom guys. Morning, Luke. Efficiency will come into it, especially with green ideas. These tiny homes and these King Domes have got a very special place, and that's why we came up with our heading today. It's not about space; it's about place. It's the experience that you actually have when you're staying in this sort of accommodation, and I think that certainly for weekend stays, a lot of people have problems with compliance with putting a second property on their land, but they want to maybe do an Airbnb. People even themselves want a little holiday place to get away from. People themselves can't afford a home. There may be a single or a couple that just works real hard. Just don't want the big ball and chain of what's offered with a house. This is perfect. It's an experience.
And experience trips are growing. I think people love a good experience trip now. Maybe not a permanent one, but a weekend away. What a cool idea.
Oh, yeah, you can imagine being on the top of a valley in one of those kingdoms. What a sick place to be chilling out by it with a fire.
Yeah, sounds like a nice date, Mark. A good date idea.
Yeah, it's a hot date idea. You know what? I'm sure those King Dome guys have people that I think Airbnb them out. It'd be good to check them out.
Yeah.
They these tiny homes cost about 75 to 175, so some serious coin. So 175 gets you the absolute kick-ass, 2 better, little dining room, nice room. They put a deck off the side of the tiny homes. You can't see the wheels, you can't see the trailer. beautiful window systems, super high ceilings, aircon, off the grid. They have their own power.
Wow. And I think you're not ashamed of, inviting that family member over, because they're not in theory staying in a trailer. It is a self-contained little home.
I think it's a trailer.
Hey?
I think it is a trailer.
Well, it's dressed up. They're mainstream. It's cool.
It's glamour.
It's glamorized. That's right.
In a trailer.
Yeah, but it's not trailer living. It's tiny home living. I think they get quite angry at trailer living, Mark.
Technically, it is. But I love it.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. But that's a little bit about the episode this morning. Is it about space or place? And on a previous episode, we talked about land value. People all want to be in the best place. So, a clever use of space will get you there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else, Brad?
Mate, that's it, guys. Look up tiny homes. It is a serious movement that's happening. And have a wonderful day. The weather's unbelievable in Sydney.
That's it. See you,
Every
Mark.
other. All right, mate. You take care.
Bye.
See you, bud.